Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
Want to shop Walmart Black Friday deals first? Walmart Plus members get early access to our hottest deals. Join now and get 50% off a 1-year annual membership. Shop Black Friday deals first with Walmart Plus. See terms at walmartplus.com.
Let's hang out.
Let's hang out.
And let's talk about what Legends about.
Let's hang out.
And let's listen to two lesbians shout.
Let's hang out.
Let's hang out.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Lez Hang Out, the podcast that's golden but not broken, baby. From the West Coast, I'm Lee Holmes Foster.
And from the East Coast, I'm Ellie Brigida. To those of you who've been with us for this whole journey, thank you as always for listening. If you're a new listener, welcome. We're excited to have you here. Here's what's happening this week.
This week in the Lesdom.
This week in the Lesdom is a place where we can touch base each episode about things going on with the podcast or otherwise. In season 7, we are still releasing our bonus Patreon episodes. Last episode was on Blue is the Warmest Color. Some of our patrons were surprised we hadn't talked about it yet because we know.
It surprised all of us.
But if you want to hear our thoughts on the iconic, the controversial Blue is the Warmest Color, you can join our Patreon at bit.ly/lespatreon.
We also want to remind everyone that we are taking our next Lez Hang Out retreat trip. This one's much more retreat than our Croatia trip was. But we are going to be going to Costa Rica in May. First week of May. It's going to be the 1st through the 6th, and we have a ton of fun stuff planned. We are going to be horseback riding up to waterfalls. We're going to be doing some hot springs and some spa day, and we have lots of fun activities that we will be hosting, like an in-person trivia night. We're going to be recording a live episode, all sorts of good stuff. You can join that trip at bit.ly/Lesdo Costa Rica, and the next still 8 spots are going to be discounted from the full price. So don't wait too long to pick up those spots.
In the greater Les universe, lesbians are losing their minds.
They really are.
Like, absolutely losing their minds. But to be fair, I get it. A million people have also DM'd me sending me this information. I'm like, I know. And to be clear, this information is Sophia Bush and Ashlyn Harris are dating.
Hot on the heels of the Ashlyn and Allie news, the Sophia and Ashlyn news. Can I tell you something though, Ellie? I swear to God, solved. If you have a mystery, if you need something done, like there is no more powerful force on earth, I am convinced, than gay TikTok. Like gay TikTok
figured it out before
Sophia Bush out so fast, and with such little information to go on. It is wild. It is wild how they figured out what was happening before anybody had confirmed what was happening. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's impressive, but also it's like we've been waiting for this because has Sophia Bush said she's bisexual before?
Not that I remembered seeing. So if there was something out there that people knew about that we didn't know about, let us know. Let us know, gays. What was the info that we were all sitting on other than just strong vibes, right?
Yeah, other than just like the most intense vibes ever. And now she has confirmed those vibes. So thank you for that, Sophia. There's also drama because who knows what the deal is with Ashlyn and Allie and how their marriage ended. Sophia Bush's marriage recently ended as well. So there's a lot of controversy around it. But the gem is Sophia's on our team. And that's all I care about now.
We're interested in silver linings only right now.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Yes.
Speaking of silver linings, a show that doesn't have a whole lot of them is The Fall of the House of Usher. This is actually a great segment for me to lead us into in this because I watched the first 3 episodes today on the plane.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and so here's what I can tell you for sure about the Fall of the House of Usher. You know how we've been playing this game of like name a straight actor, name a straight person for like the last handful of years. You know who's straight in Fall of House of Usher?
No
Nobody,
one.
not a single person. You know who's gay? Literally everyone. Every character. I'm pretty sure the monkeys, they're gay. Everyone is gay.
I just love the brand because I've also seen the first 3 episodes. I love the brand of queer they're going for, which is very much like pretty much everyone is like bi and poly and
yes, it is.
The sexuality
like,
is wild.
Gay hedonism, like narcissism. It's incredible. I love it. I also, if you've also only seen the first 3 episodes, Ellie, can you back me up on this? Because this is not a show that like buries the lead really with respect to like, they're all gonna die horribly.
It's
but still every time you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually terrible. So having a great time. Mike Flanagan, love it. If you haven't caught up on the Mike Flanagan body of work, what a great time to do it with, I think, the gayest show we've gotten yet.
I will say it's the gayest, but it's not the cutest.
Oh, it's far from the cutest, but it's in terms of just sheer quantity of queer characters.
Yeah,
it wins by a landslide.
Yeah.
Like it's not even close. I don't think I've met a straight character honestly yet in the show. They're all maybe Annabeth Gish, the mom who dies. I don't know. She seems a little repressed, but you know,
we'll see.
The argument could be made. Also, can I tell you my favorite thing that I just saw related to Mike Flanagan while we're talking about this, which I don't remember where I saw it. It was probably like Twitter or TikTok or something, but I saw someone who posted and they were like, man, the day Mike Flanagan discovers Carmilla as like a source material for his next work, like it's over for all of us. Like imagine.
Yep.
Imagine the dark, twisted Carmilla reimagining we would get from that man's brain, starring Kate Siegel.
Cannot wait. And put Kate Siegel in anything and make her gay. That's it.
Well, and that seems to be what their marriage is based on, honestly. So amazing.
Yes.
That's what's happening this week. Back to you, Ellie and Lee. Thanks, Ellie and Lee. And we are so excited to bring you episode 6 of season 7. It is Love Lines.
And we are joined by a very special guest today, musical artist and songwriter LP, who broke on a global level with their massive hit Lost on You and has just released their new album, Love Lines. LP, welcome.
What's up? How you doing?
We are great. So excited to have you here.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be here in general, in life in general.
Just on Earth.
Just above ground.
Yeah.
It's a good day. Yeah, I'm delighted. Thank you for having me.
Amazing. Well, why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about your newest album? It is your 7th album, correct? So you've had a storied past before this album.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel like that, but because I almost feel like I started counting really from Forever for Now. Like before that, I feel like I was, just kind of finding my way a lot. And then I think this record, I don't know, it feels very good to me. It feels really fresh, and it feels like an LP record, but kind of like something that like makes me feel renewed, a little bit reborn, and I was working with the same producers and team, Mike Del Rio and Nate Campany, for like my last 3 records, and there was no like thought into like I'm gonna not do, I would have probably made another record with them, or at least part of it, but I had like a pandemic pod of these 3 guys, Andrew Martin and Ashton Irwin and Matt Pauling, and they were like, Ashton is a drummer and co-writer of 5 Seconds of Summer. Andrew's played a bunch of bands like this band Palais Royale, and Matt's Pauling's produced like engineered and produced some Five Sauce stuff, written it, and so everyone was like kind of involved together, and we just kind of found this chemistry, and then I just fucking took us away on an island getaway, and we started writing all these songs because I just like that's how I kind of like to do it, and it just felt like I had a lot of stuff to say, and I had a whole like going into the pandemic, like ill-fated relationship coming, then that got messed up into another relationship, and just the state of the world in general, and life. It was like, there's a lot coming down. So I tried to I feel like I had some places to go. And so, yeah, I'm excited. I mean, this is like literally like right before I go out on tour. to start this record cycle, so I don't even really know where I'm at with it. The record's
Yeah.
only been out a couple of weeks, and so I'm just excited. I think I'll see. I'll see
I
what people
love
are.
I love you. You said something at the top there about like it feeling like new and fresh and whatever. And like Ellie and I were talking when we hopped on tonight about how I'm trying to find like what's the right word for how I want to describe some of the songs on Love Lines. To me, they feel like they're like shiny. Does that make
Cool.
sense? They're like
Yeah.
they feel like full of brightness.
Like
I think my
EQ-wise,
voice
or I
is
don't know
super
what-
sweet on a lot of them.
No.
Yeah. There's like a an ease.
There's like a joy.
Yeah, there's like
a
an
joy
ease
in
to them. Like they're kind of like I got my stage set up for this show. It's kind of like I'm calling it like kind of like LA Nights kind of thing. It's just like kind of like you're kind of in like some like Hotel California, but a nice Hotel California, like some easy kind of night where you're just like kicking back and like kind of taking stock in your life a little bit. And I think maybe that's where I'm at right now in general. Shit's not easy, but I feel like I can look at things from this spot of I don't know. It was pretty dicey there for a while, and I didn't think I kind of after the last few tours, I've always been thinking to myself, oh, I did it, cool. I did what I did the thing that I was terrified of not doing. So that's kind of a cool place to be. I mean, and I'm not at all saying, yeah, that's it, good night. But I just, but I do have it's like an ease to like, I'm still like always a little bit upended and disturbed about like, do I need to do more? I get all like, type A about things. And, but
I think we can understand that, right, Lee?
like I don't
Yeah.
seem like I'm type A, but
Similar.
I guess I am kind of like I'm kind of a hyper mellow person. Either you see me as like I get a lot of things done, or you think I'm getting nothing done, but I'm kind of getting a lot done
in secret.
in secret.
So you're talking a little bit about your songwriting. I mean, you've written a million songs over the course of your career. How do you feel like your songwriting has changed from when you first started writing songs
Oh my God.
to now?
I mean, immensely. I think I've gotten so much faster. It's very fast. Once
How
the concept.
fast? Could you write one right now?
I just wrote one. Do you hear that? Do you hear that?
Challenge.
I just wrote one.
Yeah.
Well, when you
Amazing.
started that sentence, I was about to start, and then I started.
It's already done. Yeah.
Hold on. Let me get my guitar. I think the road from my heart, my brain to like my pen is very fast now in a way. Once I know what I'm talking about, and not always, but I also think I know I can really trim the fat quickly. Maybe hopefully I don't throw the baby out with the bathwater and trim the whole fucking thing. And then people are like, there wasn't really much there. I don't know. I really, it's not one of those things you can, I guess, say about yourself. It's like the proof is in whether people like it or not. I feel like it's like telling someone you're an old soul. Maybe don't say that. Maybe don't tell someone. Maybe let that person decide if you're an
You
old
think
soul.
somebody else has to tell you you're
Yeah.
an old soul?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm an empath. Are you? Oh, that's so nice. I'm happy for you. But I don't think there's things you could say about yourself. So I think you have to let someone do it.
What does it feel like other than the speed? Are there things about because I'm curious, like, is it
Lee
does
is
it,
also a songwriter.
well,
context.
reluctantly and not
Reluctantly.
let's
I didn't want to have to do that. You forced me to do it.
I didn't.
I wasn't going to
She
write a
did.
song,
She
but I
did
had
force
to.
me.
I said it
You
about
made me.
you, Lee. So
I
it's
know.
okay.
Ellie's forcing titles on me that I refuse. But
Now defend.
no, but
Lee,
I'm
Yeah.
I am curious though, like other than the speed, are there things that
Accuracy.
feel different about
Accuracy.
the process?
Yeah. Aim.
Just
Yeah.
in general, or does it change like by? Because I think this album is topic wise, right? Like it's a little different and it's a little like focused, right? Like it's sort of this exploration of like relationships, relationship history, stuff like that. So I'm curious if that does it feel different to write like in a general sense after so much time, or does it feel different like writing about different things? Do you know what I mean?
I mean, that's the thing. I have like a little issue with the like, oh, it's about relationships. Every fucking album is about relationships. When someone says to me, "Oh, with your records, it's about relationships." I mean, like, what do you want me to write about? Fucking, like drugs? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like
The only two
drugs are
options.
for doing, not for writing about. I don't know. I'm not like I'm not. It's just where your life is. Like, you go through all this shit and relationships with yourself, with people, with lovers, and it culminates into writing about what happened and what happened in your head. And Bob Dylan's "Blonde on Blonde" is all about his divorce, and so and he's just writing about his wife and all the hard things and like his metaphors and stuff like that. I don't know. I mean, I'm not comparing myself to that. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying that the most esteemed records are about relationships. So I don't. I never like think of it as some kind of cop out. I don't really even know what that means. But I do think this one just feels like it's just State of the Union for me, where I'm at, what I'm feeling
Yeah.
about myself, about as I had a bit of am I polyamorous? Do I like do I have to define it like that, or am I just a fucking cheater? I don't know. Who knows?
What are the kids calling
What are the
it
kids?
these days?
The kids are calling it polyamory. I'm calling it you're a fucking cheater, and you like it that way. It's nice, It's just like it's very sexy when you're like, I try not to do that. It's one of my last resorts. It's my parachute out, if you want. I don't fucking know.
getaway
I'm just
car of
let me just
sorts. Yeah.
dig a fucking bigger hole so that
Dig
no
yourself.
one will
Yeah.
ever
Just keep
want to
digging.
date me
Just
again.
Keep digging.
Listen, no, I never. I'm always like, I just think that I, was exploring that and trying to explore being more honest with myself and what I want, so that I can be better for someone else or for myself. I think there's a lot. I went through a lot of, I don't think I've had a very good relationship in my last three, even though it's and also one got they got very public, which I wasn't ready for, or it was very upsetting and intrusive to have people commenting on my breakup with my fiance Lauren, from because we kind of came up. I kind of shot up, and Instagram became like a reality show, and Lauren's very talented, and everybody loved her, and so it was like a lot of heat, and I was pretty like pissed when people were like coming to me and being judgmental about what I did in the scenario. It's like, motherfucker, do not start. You know?
You don't read those
Yeah.
DMs,
I don't-
Elfie. Those
yeah.
aren't the
I
ones
don't-
you go.
I don't
Those
come-
aren't the ones you dive into.
Exactly. I don't come to your house and be like, ding dong, you know what? I liked the other one better. She was so
Yeah.
sweet. I loved her. My God, I loved her for you. I was like, no, I don't want to hear that from you. I don't give a fuck what you think. I do,
Yeah.
just because because then I like base the whole thing on like, oh, like whether you're a nice person or not because of that. But anyone who's been, have you never been in a relationship? There's no like.
Don't we all just want a ton of other people's input in that situation?
Well, and nobody knows what the fuck happened except those two people, right? So I don't like it was, but it was just like eye opening to be like in a public situation, and so coming to terms with that kind of stuff and with what I want and the isolation and loneliness of what I do at the end of the day, and just the moving of like one. So I was feeling as if like being on the road and having a different girlfriend was just so empty. Like as far as like, because you're like, I miss you, I love you with the text messaging, and then you're like, oh, this just seems so seamless. You go from one to the next in the same kind of messages, and what is that? Is that right? Okay.
I mean, I think, well, in terms of relationships, like you were saying, public relationships, obviously a minefield to navigate, but also even just what you were saying at the top of like relationships, like early in the pandemic. I mean, that was hard on a lot of relationships.
Yeah.
Right? Like a
oh my
bunch
God.
of people kind of just got thrown into the fire together in a lot of ways. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I think it's like the door closing It was like, okay,
Yeah.
shoppers, better get everything you need.
Well, it was, and it's like I know we know a ton of people who, like, you know, early pandemic days had to make the decision of like, how do you handle this? Like, we're moving in together. Sometimes that worked out, sometimes that didn't. Like, or people who had been in like pretty established relationships and were just like, but now I'm spending every
But now I have to
minute
be with them.
of my
Yeah.
day with you all the time
Yeah.
and only you, and like that's again like just a different dynamic to
Yeah.
navigate.
I think
know?
it probably was a good microcosm of that old rhetoric about you should be best friends with someone that you
Yeah.
wind up with.
Yeah.
Who fucking said? I mean, yeah, you'll know pretty soon if you can be best friends when you're like locked in a fucking house for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will
With no
know.
other humans. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to go back a little bit to a kernel of what you were saying earlier, just about touring, because you're about to go back on tour. Are you excited to go back on tour? Are there some things you love about touring, some things you hate about touring?
You know, I think the only thing I don't love sometimes about touring is that I don't drink or anything on tour. Not that like I have to have a good time for drinking, but just like sometimes it just gets very like everyone's like so like, yay, oh, let's fucking hang out at the bus and you know, it's just like a very. But then I get into it. I kind of like it's like anything. It's like when you stop drinking, whatever, you get into this kind of mode where you're like, oh, it's easy. It's like I actually like it. But it's like the transition into just being like kind of like sober around drunk people. That's the thing. You can be sober around like, you know, you stay home and you hang out or you whatever. Yeah, I do. I for my voice for the most part. But yeah, it's just like a different it seems like the party vibe, but it's not. That's the interesting part. It's like, but it is. I just really I really enjoy seeing the people that are affected by the music. So I love it. There's nothing I really don't like about touring, like I said, except like an occasional wild night or two, which I still could do, but it's still like it's just sometimes like it's a very wholesome experience. So I have to like get into that mode. So I do, but I really enjoy like we do like these, you know, meet and greets and all that stuff, and it's just nice to see where people are at. And singing these songs is the best part. And I really do like I like once I get into the vibe of the bus life, it's easy. I sleep until 2 in the afternoon. Wake up, do yoga, sound check, play, and just meet a bunch of people, and then same. And I like the whole vibe of like going to sleep at night and waking up somewhere else. Is pretty cool.
It's like you every weekend, Ellie. Sleep till 2.
Hell yeah.
Big night.
Yeah, sounds right. I also am a performer, so I do a lot of bar gigs late at night. And
yeah.
I sleep.
You live in? Are you in New York?
Because I'm in Boston.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
Are you a singer or songwriter?
I'm a singer. Lee is the songwriter, and she's
right
going to
on.
write some songs for me this
okay.
year.
So you
We're
guys
gonna
are
work
like
on an
kind of a
EP
band
together, so it's gonna be fun. We're a little duo.
We'll do it.
Okay. All right. I wasn't told. I wasn't versed on the thing. Sorry about that. I didn't know you guys were a band.
No, it's okay. But yeah, 2 years ago we wrote a musical. We wrote a musical
cool.
together, so that was like our big.
What was it called?
First adventure. It's called The Flame.
Nice. Like
it's all about
a twin flame.
A gay bar.
A gay bar.
The flame, like flamers.
Yeah, as in it's actually named after. It's set in a queer bar, and it's all about sort of like saving queer spaces. So it's actually named after a real lesbian bar that I think used to be in San Diego. I can look it up.
There's few and far between lesbian bars in the world.
Yeah,
they don't make much money. That's why.
Yeah,
because two lesbians. A lesbian walks into a bar. Sorry, finish what you're gonna say, and then I'll tell you my joke.
No, I'm ready.
No, tell the joke. Tell the joke.
I was gonna say that a lesbian walks into the bar. They buy maybe 2 drinks in an hour. Meet someone, go home with them, date them for like 6 years, barely go out ever, and then a gay man walks into a bar, has about 6 drinks in an hour, meets some guy, takes him down the street, fucks him, comes back, drinks another 6 drinks.
Yeah.
That's the pace. And so the moral of the story is, kids, get yourself a gay bar to own.
Listen, as an old married lesbian, I resent this wildly accurate representation.
I resemble this wildly accurate.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. It's very accurate. What are some of your favorite cities to tour in?
Chicago's really fun. Boston's really fun. New York is super fun. Yeah, it's really, since I'm from New York, it's fun to roll in on a tour bus and even though you can't get too close, and play to New Yorkers and stay at a hotel there, or whatever the hell I'm doing. I don't remember. Probably going back on the bus and just roll out like New York.
Yeah.
In New York, you don't even matter anymore. You know, so New York was so it just really represented the struggle for so long, and then suddenly it didn't, and then it kind of,
Yeah.
and then it just was coming home and being like, yeah, take that. So I like that.
That's awesome.
I love Texas was actually really good to me. I was like, really? Fucking Texas? Wow.
Are you gonna wear your hat
I
to
might.
Texas?
You
Or you
know,
wear it
yeah,
every
I
time?
don't give a shit. I might wear it every day. But yeah, no, I don't care. You know, it's like I don't think anybody, you know, it's like we're all fucking cowboys. I don't, you know, I don't think anyone could own that. They'll try, but yeah, I'm not scared of that. Like Philly's cool and DC's cool, all of it. You know, it's like the
Not the
states
cool
are, yeah, the
cities. You
states
don't
are
go to a
interesting.
not cool city.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, you
yeah.
have a whole like international leg coming up as well, right? So
Yeah, so but I hadn't like been. Yeah, I mean, I toured the States last year in May because but it was actually the makeup show from the 2020. So that was like a show
Mm.
that shows those were all shows that have been rescheduled 4 times.
wow.
Wow.
Jesus, that was a lot.
For you, as you're talking about New York, what for you was like the moment that you're like, I have officially made it?
As soon as I couldn't see anybody I'd been seeing banging around for the last 20 years, like in the audience, I was like, "Yay! Oh!" like I know they're there, sort of, you know, or some of them, you know. But I think when my Terminal 5 show, I think in 2019 maybe, was pretty crazy, and yeah, it just felt really good. And like I said, I was like not. It wasn't like anybody that I couldn't see anybody, you know. That I know it's just like it's just
Mhm.
like a cool crowd, and yeah, it felt good. I think that well, the real time I felt like I made it in New York was when I was on like Letterman or something, and I was staying in at the Ludlow Hotel on Ludlow Street, and my hotel room was facing my old apartment that I lived in. I still have it in my name, actually. My ex lived there, or so, whatever. I kept it in my name for her because you know,
You
like I
gotta
said,
you gotta count them out.
Because
On
why not? Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, but I was staying in this hotel that didn't even exist when I lived in that apartment. I would like write songs like looking west out of my Lower East Side apartment, and that was pretty wild. I could see right in the window of my old place. It was like across. It's on. You could see over like Essex and like Norfolk, and right into this apartment on like 5B, and that was pretty trippy. I was like, wow, I'm standing in a hotel. I'm gonna go be on Letterman tomorrow, and this hotel that I'm standing in didn't even exist. And I was like, fuck yeah. That was the moment I felt really good.
That's pretty coul, yeah.
It's like looking back through time almost, right?
Yeah, I was like, holy shit. Like it just like because I would face this window and this like there's a school on the edge, like on between Norfolk and Essex, like, and it's like borders with Houston. And yeah, we just look across that park and just watch kids on recess and shit, and it's like years doing that. And so it was quite shocking, and I'm glad I went through all that shit for sure, of course. And New York, you know, what I came to realize was it wasn't the most easy place for me to create, and a little too vertical for me. Very felt very like creatively. I didn't know it at the time, but like kind of like caged in. And like as soon as I started moving west and Midwest and then in West, like things just started to feel more open and free for me.
I know you've sort of talked a little bit about how like you don't want necessarily being a lesbian to define you. Like it's like you don't want it to be like lesbian artist. You're like, I am
Yeah.
a musician, and like, yes, I happen to be gay. How has that changed, especially like with the public perception and everything since you first started?
Oh, the public perception that I'm a giant fucking dyke.
Yeah. But I mean, also just like you were talking about like your relationship being in the public eye, a very gay relationship, also.
Yeah,
you
that
know?
part doesn't, you know, rolling up with a woman or being, you know, shown with a woman all the time. That's great. I think, you know,
that
the
ups
whole,
your street cred.
yeah, just the whole riding on that is just ridiculous. I don't think that that's even. I don't really get it, and I don't lead with that. Obviously, I don't think many people do anymore. But I do
Yeah.
think that it was kind of. And some people, when they were coming up, were just very much like, let's do this and let's do that, and there's nothing wrong with that either. I just don't. I didn't feel that way. I have like such a eclectic group of friends. Like I would say like lesbian quotient of my gay friends. It's like a third of my friend base, and then it's like a shit ton of fucking dudes, not bros, but musician people, and then just all kinds of like I feel like I'm friends with like 800 straight couples, like just those couples that just always roll couple deep. I love that shit. I love me some third wheel action, and not sexual. But it's nice, and yeah. So I don't even think about it. Like,
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. And as we head into Thanksgiving time, I want to start by thanking my wife, Kelsey, who has not only listened to just about every episode of this podcast for 8 seasons now, but who also is the only reason I'm able to make time to record it every week. She takes the kids, gets them dinner, and gets them ready for bed, just so that Ellie and I can come on and yell about gay things into each other's faces for an hour. So here's a reminder to send some thanks to the people you're grateful for in your life, including yourself. I've been in therapy for a long time now, and one thing that's so important about therapy is how it teaches you to be more intentional. And being intentional about gratitude and how to show that to the people you appreciate is just one of the many benefits that I've gotten from therapy over the years. If you've been thinking of starting therapy, consider giving BetterHelp a try. I know how hard it can be to find time for regular therapy, and BetterHelp is designed to be flexible and convenient for your schedule. You can fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. If you want to start being more intentional about gratitude in your life, visit betterhelp.com/Lez Hang Out today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Lez Hang Out.
Let's hang out.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Shifting a little money here, a little there, and hoping it all works out? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can be a better budgeter and potentially lower your insurance bill too. You tell Progressive what you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll help you find options within your budget. Try it today at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states. For many businesses, the holiday season can be both an exciting and stressful time. With so many balls in the air, one thing you definitely want to know you can rely on is how you're selling your products. And with Shopify, you can rest easy knowing it's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. And when it comes to successful brands like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, an often overlooked secret is all the things that go on behind the scenes that make selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, if you take a peek behind that curtain, you'll see that Shopify is what makes it all possible. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, so that's more happy customers and way more sales going. It's true all the time, but especially this time of year, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use for Realm merch with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm. For many businesses, the holiday season can be both an exciting and stressful time. With so many balls in the air, one thing you definitely want to know you can rely on is how you're selling your products. And with Shopify, you can rest easy knowing it's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. And when it comes to successful brands like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, an often overlooked secret is all the things that go on behind the scenes that make selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, if you take a peek behind that curtain, you'll see that Shopify is what makes it all possible. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, so that's more happy customers and way more sales going. It's true all the time, but especially this time of year, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use for Realm merch with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
I feel like,
Yeah.
people will be like, they don't even know they're lesbian.
No, but honestly, it's so good though, because it's like, even like Ellie and I noticed it when we did the flame, and it felt like the billing of it everywhere was like, hey, here's a gay musical. Are you interested in a queer musical? Like, do you want to watch this lesbian musical or like listen to this lesbian musical? And we were like, that's not like, people might just listen to it actually also, like just because it's a
good.
musical. Just, just
Yeah,
by virtue of it being a musical,
exactly.
people might enjoy it, but but you brand it immediately, and then it sort of
pigeonholes
it
you a
like
bit.
closes
It's
a
still
lot
a
of
love
doors
story.
that
Yeah. Like, just
right.
like, I mean,
You're like, you don't need to close them. Actually, like, you could leave those doors wide open and just be like, hey, it's a musical. Like, here it is. Like, I feel like there's something that is sort of freeing about just saying like, yeah, here is an artist, a singer, a
yeah,
songwriter, because it's not like the gays don't know, right? Like,
yeah,
we know.
yeah.
We'll know
And
who's
it's
out
proven
there.
that, like,
you don't need to tell us and like stick a post-it note on people for us. Like, we know.
yeah, no shit, no shit. I mean,
Yeah.
my biggest song, Lost on You, is like a song like I know that doesn't just have a gay following at all, not even close. I think it would probably be like heterosexually outweighed as far as all the people that have ever listened to it and love that song, because it's just a love song. I think even like people, I know that people regardless of orientation were affected by it, because it's just like, because those kind of feelings are common denominators to us all. It doesn't
Yeah.
have anything to do. I mean, that's one of the biggest weird things for people, I think, to understand sometimes, is that, yeah, of course it's like a different thing just because of the nature of the parts and all that shit, whatever the fuck it is. But it's still the ultimate emotional inclinations are exactly the fucking same, and that's what I think is one of the purposes of gay people's like climb, is to illustrate that.
Gay people, much like straight people, have feelings. Sure.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Fucking nuts.
It's wild.
Wild.
Revolutionary. You heard it here first,
Yeah.
folks.
I did read this other article where you were talking about ageism in the music industry, and I would love to talk about that. Basically, you said, I have a quote from you, which is, I think with musicians, everybody consistently tries to strike down musicians after the age of 40, but I'm going to keep doing songs until I tip into the grave. And I just love that. I just love that quote.
Yeah, it's like people are always kind of yeah, I think sometimes, like, just because you've like been doing it, people will like kind of write you up, and people always want the new thing, and then it just keeps going from there. And I don't think that's right for anybody. It's like people aren't biggest things like painters. Like, what the fuck? All painters seem to be able to like age and get better, like really better, and everyone, like, their work is more coveted and all this stuff. And it just seems so odd that musicians, it's like somebody decided back in the day that you were just like, when you were like in your early 20s, you were supposed to be cranking out genius shit, and if you weren't, then that's it. So anybody who was like on that path, we keep them, and everybody else gets chucked, and that just seems so strange. to me.
It's so
Yeah.
funny to have that. I feel like that is true and also not for everybody, because specifically, like, there are some white men that fans will follow until, like,
Yeah.
their crusty bodies
Yeah.
sort of do roll into death, and
Yeah.
then they would just sit
Yeah.
there and, like, toss a guitar on top of them and, like, make that the next album. I mean, I don't know. I feel like we as a
There's
culture,
a bit of a double standard.
there's a bit of a
gender-wise, is what
double
you're trying to say.
standard when it comes to, like, old
Yeah.
white men and the chokehold they have on music industry.
Yeah, for sure. I think, I mean, and also just, I think also people also will like focus in on just outrageous success only. I mean, I don't want to brag, but I'm good. I'm better than good. You know what I mean? Like, I think,
Sorry.
Yes.
Wait, you can't say it about yourself. So not to brag for anyone, but like they're really
Yes.
good. I don't know if you all know this.
I love
listeners,
when some
they're
like
great.
older white dude will sit next to me on in business or whatever, or first class, and be like, "So you're like here because of music?" I was like, "No, motherfucker, I'm a stockbroker. Yeah, I'm here for music. That's my fucking security guard. That's my assistant." I was like, and so I'm like, "Yay, holy shit!" But obviously there's people wildly more successful, but there's like, but I don't think people can understand it unless you're fucking Rihanna, Post Malone, or Taylor Swift. Like, they can't wrap their heads around it. And I've been for myself I was making a monster living for a while just as a songwriter and just getting deals and deals. And, and I say this, I'm sorry if it sounds like a braggy thing. It's more like I'm trying to inspire people that they don't give up just because it's not getting cranked on the radio every day. I think there's an element of, I used to go, I like working class, but when I was like, that's a little limiting. I'm going to go past that, and as soon as I allowed that, I did. But I just really worked hard at it, wrote a lot of fucking songs. I thought I was going to only be a songwriter before my artist thing kind of blew up again. After I had Warner Brothers was my 5th record deal, 3rd major label deal. They dropped me after I played them, Lost and New, and then all of a sudden, and then Lost and New hit a year and a half after that. And so, and then RCA flew in and was like, "We're gonna make this a hit in America." And then they fucked it up promptly. Like, it was a bit of a hit. But I'm just telling you that these are the things. Like, I tell the story again, not to aggrandize myself so much as I want people to kind of understand that. I mean, my family doesn't know. Like, my parents are both dead, and my brother, we don't hang out much. But all I have is my dad's older brother and my aunt. And my uncle, like, literally said to me the other day, he said, "What are you up to, Tiger?" I'm just rehearsing, Uncle Jim, going on a North American tour. He goes, "North America? Have you done that before?" I was like, "Yeah, I have." It's like,
Few times.
yeah, and like, and I have one of those Italian American, very like kind of like, "We're Italian," Italian.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're Italian American.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, I've had like, again, I'm gonna blow smoke up my own ass for a second. Excuse me, it's a bit of a reach, but I'm like, I've had like 7 top 10s in Italy in the last like 6 years, and I don't even think they know. So
Yeah.
it doesn't like it just doesn't translate sometimes, and so I could go around defending myself all the time, but I just know, and I'm good, and I feel I'm really I did everything I ever dreamed of and more, and I just want to pass on that it's possible, and that if you just keep writing and pushing and doing work, I think it's possible for anybody. I played Lost and New to a major label that I owed $1.6 million. And the new president looked at me and said, "That's great. You want to hear a great song?" And then he played me a song written by a not gay guy about being gay. He played that in my meeting, which was just simply amazing.
That's a no.
And so, and then,
That's a no.
and then the next week they dropped me. And when you get dropped, I'm not sure if everybody knows, but you don't have to pay that debt that you accrued or whatever the word is. So I didn't have to pay that back. So then when I signed to this little indie, and then Lost and You blew the fuck up, I bought a house. Instead of having to pay Warner Brothers fucking $1.6 million, fucking suck my fucking, you know what? And so these are the stories. I feel like I was cowboy hat. You know, I feel like I was given this story so I could tell it so that people can kind of to inspire them, because you know I've been through every single fucking heartbreaking. I have had 7 record deals in the United States, and when you say that, it sounds like I've had all these deals, amazing. But I also got dropped, or it didn't work out, or something fucking happened, or you know. So that was not fun. So I feel like I've earned the right to like say the things that I've done, and I say them. I could have had these stories build up to no end, where it's just like these were the stories that you know defined me. Like, oh, you know, I could have been this, but didn't happen. I'm not like that. Everything I ever dreamed of happened and more, and I still have dreams that I'm still going for. But sometimes people love to pigeonhole you, and people love to go like, just because they haven't heard of you. I mean, I love being in a conversation and someone, I know that a person goes home and goes, oh,
who was that?
Yeah. Oh, wow. I didn't know. Like, I thought they were just like, you know, messing around. It's like, so it's just like, I think you're trying to fucking establish, like, build a body of work is just like really all I'm concerned about. So this is just another record in what I hope is you know, the middle of a bunch of other records.
I have a slightly different question, not to take us on a small tangent, but like a small tangent inspired partly by something that you just said, actually, where you were saying they brought in this dude, straight dude, wrote a song about being gay. And I'm curious because we know that happens all the time, right?
Yeah.
What I want to know actually is sort of on the flip side. So Ellie and I do, as part of the podcast, like, we have a recurring segment that we do on some of our episodes that's called Should Have Been Gay, where we talk about like straight stuff. Should have been gay. Yeah. So like usually we focus on like, you know, movies, TV shows that like are straight in theory, but
like
really
would have been better if you made them gay.
They're not, right? And so I'm curious because I feel like there are things sometimes like we see with movies or with TV shows, and we've done episodes on music before where you're just like, I get that this on paper is not gay, but it's gay, right? Like this is for us, whether
for example,
whether it
Jolene.
thinks well, sure. We did just do an episode on Jolene. But I'm curious more in the sense of like, because you were saying like you've done a lot of songwriting, right? Like you've written for a ton of big names out there. And I'm curious, like, even though we talked a little bit about, you know, you were saying that it's not like your songs are only gay, but do you know sometimes there's just like things that queer people do, it's just like there's a little infusion sometimes, like whether we can help it or not, right? Like it reads gay to gay people, I think. I'm curious if there, like, do you feel like that ever happens when you're writing music for other people, I guess, is the long-winded point I'm slowly working my way to.
I was like, for God's sakes, man, spit it out.
Where are we going?
I'm curious. I'm just curious because it's like you mentioned, you're like, they brought in this song and it's like, here's a straight dude who wrote a song about being gay. As I'm like, do you think that there are songs that you've done for other people where you're like, and also, that song was totally gay?
Not playing me the song like for me to do it. He just was like loving this artist and he's like, listen to this song you wrote. But finding out his son is gay or something like that. It's like, you know, it's like when like this very famous musician's son was like playing me some songs with them. He's like, I wrote this about giving my daughter away at her wedding. And I was like, you're fucking 24 years old. You don't have a girlfriend. You don't even have a girlfriend. Like I really, I don't know. I just feel like, you know, I would listen to this song from your dad, but like, I mean, he just was like, you know, he just didn't know what. I just had a hard time with that. I'm not saying you can't creative write. I'm not saying that. And this song was cool. I just, you know, all I'm saying is like, I'm in your meeting. I've been on Warner Brothers for 3 years. You know you're gonna drop me, and you play me this fucking song that has like 8,000 hits, by the way, now on Spotify. This poor kid never fucking, and he's a good writer, you know. But like, it just was curious to me that this guy chose this meeting when he's gonna like to play. Again, the biggest dyke alive, a gay song,
Yeah.
not written by a gay person.
But that's why
fucking
I want to know. But do you think it's ever gone the other way where it's like, are there, because you've written for a lot of artists, are there songs that you think are out there where it's like that queer people will be like, that song's kind of gay though, like that song feels a little gayer to me?
No, that's just that U-Haul song that I wrote for some straight guy. No, I'm just kidding. I never. I could slip into something less comfortable always. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not really. I consider myself emotionally intelligent enough to not to scare anybody. Any other listen, I've sucked a dick or two in my life. I know what's up. I've dated guys. I don't like. That's why I know things are the fucking same. I've been in love with a guy. Like back in the day, it was kid stuff, but still, it's still the fucking same. It doesn't fucking matter. And no, I don't have to slip into anything. I know how to fucking write like that. I don't. It doesn't scare me, and I definitely never hear like whoops.
Yeah, I think I'm interested less in the like, can people write from a perspective that's different, and more in the like,
I don't even feel gay when I write.
Like,
I don't feel gay when I write. I don't feel gay at all when I write. I feel like when I fucking, I feel like people be like, "How do you celebrate gay pride?" I said, I usually wake up and look to my left or right, whatever the fuck it is, and there's a woman there, and I'm like, "Yay!" I'm so fucking proud, baby. I'm proud of you. We're fucking gay as fuck. Let's fuck.
The best pride.
That's a great way.
Pride.
Yeah, that's a great way to celebrate.
Proud as fuck.
Listen, all I know is I'm excited for your song about giving your daughter away at her wedding to come out. That's what I want.
Baby, I'm so proud of you. I'm going to write a song about giving my gay daughter away to her gay ass fucking lady.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Wait, listen, lesbians getting married after their one date in the bar need that song, okay?
Yeah.
So
they
true.
need that song.
Baby. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know. I've done the quick thing. It is what it is when it is. I don't like when you're breaking up and someone's screaming at you, "You told me you loved me the second day." I was like, "Yes," and it's 5.5 years later. Obviously, I did love you. We do love each other. I don't know. I just listen. I've said more in this fucking podcast, you fucking bastards, that I ever say. I want to hear this. Like, I sucked a dick or two in my life. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, we'll just clip that soundbite up for you.
We'll put that soundbite up.
Play it in the morning.
That's fucking nasty shit. But yeah, being a kid.
I don't even know where to go from here. So funny, but
come on, find your way, babe.
But one thing I did want to talk about before we wrap up.
Also, I would say if I was a dude, I would. This is how the quotient of men that I feel like just for fun. I would let a guy suck my dick if I was a guy. I wouldn't want to fuck a guy.
Why wouldn't you?
I wouldn't want a guy to fuck me. But why not? I just feel like saying
why not?
Yeah.
Just say more.
Okay,
say more.
Now you can jump. How about that? Okay.
Ellie, if you were a dude, would you also have sex with a dude?
Good question. Like, would I also be gay as a dude?
Yeah, why not?
I feel like I'd be straight as a man.
You think if you were a dude, you'd be a straight dude? That feels so boring. That feels boring.
I think if I was a dude, I would be terrified to look down. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I would actually be like totally like kind of like, oh, that feels good. I wonder who's that dude? Okay. Hey. Oh,
listen,
I'm so versatile.
Is the thought experiment if you were a dude? Here's how I want to clarify this. Is the thought experiment if you had always been a dude or if you suddenly woke up tomorrow as a dude? Because those are two very different thought experiments.
You're
like,
so
if
right.
I woke up tomorrow in a dude's body with a dick, like, I feel like you do everything you could with that thing, right?
I wouldn't fuck any guys.
However long you're going to have it.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like you have to make the most of
it. We're be sitting here right now. All right.
Great. Okay, so let's wrap it back. Bring it back to songwriting.
Did that not help tie you back in?
No, that was so great.
A helpful segue.
That actually was exactly where I was planning on going.
And bouncing off of that point.
All right. Okay.
I want to talk more about songwriting. Who's your favorite person you've ever written a song for? Because you've written songs for some pretty fucking awesome performers.
Anybody I've ever written a song for. I mean, the most recent one was Celine Dion, where I was like, holy shit. Fucking Celine Dion singing one of my songs. And she took one of my songs. I wish I knew that. I mean, I knew she was talking about me on some talk shows, like a couple of big talk shows, that she wanted to find me and wanted me to write for her with her, and then she took one of my songs that I was holding for my next record, which I wasn't going to use. It was my last record, Churches, and I just kind of had already gone past those. She took the song, and I was like really, really like, pretty stoked that she did that. I loved getting a song with Rihanna because that was like kind of when I thought I was just going to write songs for other people. That was kind of one of the benchmarks where I was like, I need to be able to write a song for someone like Rihanna, like because that was like the last place that I would find myself. And then I almost got on the record after that. She recorded one of my songs, but it didn't wind up on her record. And then Rita Ora did it. I just I tried to, as soon as I thought, oh, this is what's going to be. I'm going to be a songwriter only for other people. I just went really hard and tried to get in as many rooms as I could, do as much genre as I could to try to keep working and keep getting cuts because there's no other way. So, and that in turn made me a much better songwriter and also like really changed my sound a lot. I think because I kind of think that was one of my difficulties in finding my way when I was on major labels and they were trying to find me. I didn't know I needed to be found, but like I think I just was like I could like do so many different things that they just couldn't find a lane. And then when I was writing songs for other people, it helped me because I wanted to be all over the place. And then I came back to myself, my career, it kind of all fused into it, which was kind of cool. But I don't know if I would have been able to do that if I had said, oh, hey, that's my end game is to be an artist again. I just think I kind of was able to, it just was the fucking journey that I went on. I'm glad I did, but I had no idea where it was going to land. But yeah, I think Rihanna, Celine, getting a song with like Joe Walsh from the Eagles was kind of weird. I wrote a song with, this is how like crazy my shit was. I wrote a song with Tim Armstrong from Rancid for myself for Warner Brothers, I think, in the early days. And then it got recorded by the Eagles looked at it to put it on one of their, I was like, and then Joe Walsh put it on his record Analog Man. And it's called High Roller Baby or something like that. Yeah, it was just so trippy. So it's been all over the place. That's the funniest, weirdest part. I think I have a song with Blondie somewhere, stuff like that. Yeah. I'm like on some shitty bang fucking like just the strangest shit ever.
I love that though, because like I mean, again, on a very micro scale of relating to this, like the next musical that Ellie and I are doing together right now, like is different characters sort of have different genres.
Yeah,
which cool. Was an idea that was sort of again just like tossed at me that I was not sure about. But what I feel like what I've noticed is that having to expand like what I feel like I can do, it like changed a ton of like how it feels like to write stuff and how I approach songs now. And like I can't imagine like doing that on the actual scale of like writing for the real
you can like, you could
other real artists.
It's just
like,
you just write. Like the thing is, I just write whatever comes out. I mean, sometimes when we were writing this record, I think me and Ash were writing some song, and it was just like, or we were like just kind of driving some song, and Ash was a bit more into it than I was. I think it was just like it was too funk-ish. I don't know what the fuck I was singing. It was like, and I just was like, you know what, this is a little too outside of where I want to go on this record, But I think most of the time I just do whatever the fuck I want, and I figure every record should have a landscape and a feel to it, as far as like different vibes, different things, but it should feel like it's in the same record for me.
And it expands like your like tool set for what that vibe can include and how it can all work together cohesively. Because kind of like what you were saying before too about like New York felt very vertical, like when stuff is sort of like closed in one lane, like it's a different set of things that you have to work with versus you can make a cohesive sound but play around with how are you making the cohesion when you've had the experience now of doing all this other stuff. So like,
well, I think your voice,
like
a person's voice just kind of makes it all That's why I think if like you got that person's voice there, as long within reason. Again, I'm saying like some people like maybe a less experienced person or someone that truly doesn't give a shit, doesn't care about it being a disparate group of songs. I mean, I think I'd like to a point, yes, but I think I kind of understand where I don't want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to tell our listeners about before we wrap up
I think
about the
I
album? I
fucking
mean, you've said a
enough.
lot.
I did say a lot. I think I think whoever the fuck they are got their money's worth. Okay, and if you don't,
Yeah.
like you can send me a DM, which I won't see, and complain and/or try to get more. More advice? You want more dick sucking stories?
They
I
can't
got
find you. You're gonna be on tour already by the time this comes
By the
out.
time
You're
I'm
on
just
the
gonna
road.
I'm gonna be just scattered, tiny bit of molecules, a little bit of DNA in this house, and I'm off.
Yes.
Bye.
Love it. All right. Well, we are going to head into our Q&A. So we're going to ask you a few multiple choice questions. We're going to put them up on our social media for people to answer as well. So they might be a little more broad.
Q and gay.
Question number 1. What is your favorite LP song? A, Lost on You, B, Tokyo Sunrise, C, When We're High, or D, Girls Go Wild. Also could be a write-in if you have another favorite
Oh
song.
man. Gosh, I would have said Tokyo Sunrise, but I feel like When We're High just always gets this little gasp of glee from the crowd, and I always like it. It's always a sound check song for me because it sounds really hard, but it's not hard to sing at all. So it's like my favorite warm up song, and it always. I don't get tired of singing any song, but especially that one, never.
Okay, question 2. What artist would you most want to write a song for? Out of A, Rihanna, B, Cher, C, Christina Aguilera, or D, Celine Dion? No wrong answers there.
I mean, I've written for all of them, so I guess I could.
I know, but we'll get your answer and then we'll put it up.
it
for
on
our
for the
Let's say
listeners.
Celine Dion again because I'm also worried about her. I feel very sad about her vocal thing, and because there's you just know that person gets so much joy out of singing, and has been seems like she's so good to her fans. She's such a lovely person. She's just like this sweet, goofy. I love even that. You ever see that meme that they do where like this girl sings and she like rolls down the window, and then someone made one where like the girl starts singing and the window rolls up and then you just see her go like this, which did not happen. It's not real if you've ever seen that one, but it's just. But anyway, I would like to write the song for Celine Dion.
Are you more of an A, on the road, or B, homebody person?
Oh, on the road. But again, I'm so annoying because, like, I mean, only you guys know I'm fucking annoying as fuck. But I think I'm both. I think that both are necessary. And like I said, like coming home after being on the road and just getting to like do whatever the fuck I want is nice. But I'm definitely an on the road person. I have to have that. I could probably be on the road always. Except that I would have
Nice.
no life and no friends. It's like
But sounds great
That
otherwise,
little thing.
does.
Yeah, that little
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Okay, question 4, and again, I know we covered it, but just for good measure, when would you consider yourself to have made it? In quotes. A, signing a record label. B, huge venue show. C, tons of fans. Or D, big fat check.
Oh gosh. Oh, you guys are killing me with these, to be honest. I mean, it's hard to say it, but just practicality, big fat check, because then then
Mhm.
that just covers all of them. You're playing big shows, you got a lot of fans, and you're getting paid for what you do. There's nothing like, and again, it doesn't. We're not talking about money is subjective as far as what's enough or whatever, and I just think that like getting paid for your art is like I recommend it highly. It's a beautiful experience, and you can really go, oh shit.
All right. Our final question. Question number 5. Do you prefer A, songwriting, B, song singing, or C, both?
Definitely see both because to me there's no. I mean, I could have been. I loved the subtlety of being a songwriter as far as like what people didn't know what you were doing, and you didn't have to like compete in that way. But singing something that you wrote is a beautiful experience too. So, and they're both necessary to me. I think, I don't know, I didn't write songs only for other people for long enough to have gotten disenchanted with just like, because I'm usually the person that sings the demo when we write the song, 95% of the time. And so I just think I might have gotten sad after a while and been like, wow, I'm just like singing the shit out of some song, and then it either doesn't get picked or whatever. I don't know. I think I got the good one. I got both, and I love both. I'll go with both. See, I tell ya.
Nice. There you
Can you be
go.
more verbose, please? Thank you.
Amazing. Yes. Well, LP, thank you so much for hanging
Thank
out
you,
with
guys.
us. This has been
Thank you.
incredible. Tell our listeners where they can find you, where they can find you online, where they can find you online.
Yeah, not in person.
My
not in
address
person.
is.
Where they can find your
Yeah.
where they can find your album.
I don't
And
need any
then
help with
you
that.
are going on tour right now, so your tour dates are
Well,
what?
yeah, you can go to my Instagram, which is I am LP official, and then you can go to my website, which is iamlp.com, iamlp.com, and that's all the tour dates there. I start the tour on Saturday, the 21st of October in Anaheim, and we end up in San Diego on, like, I don't know, November 26th or 27th, something like that. And everything's on Instagram, everything's online. You can hit me anywhere, Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff, and see if you even give a shit. And if you give a shit, come through, okay? I'd love to see you.
Yes.
Yeah, come out in America. I'd love to see you, and in the next couple months, I'm around if you need me.
But only
Love
after
it.
2 p.m.
After 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Fair
Knock on the bus door after 2 p.m. and I will have some coffee with you and a word.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's my
Well,
favorite thing to do,
awesome.
is sit around and fucking talk and drink coffee until sound check. Well, not until sound check. So yeah, come and find me. I'll hide in the bus.
Amazing. We
Yeah.
hope the tour goes great. We hope
Thank
it's
you very much.
it's a
Well, good luck with your
blast.
new musical, and good luck in all future endeavors. And I'll see you out there on the road. All right.
Sounds
Thank you, guys.
good.
Have a good night.
You too.
Thanks.
You too. Bye.
Let me hear you say hip, 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 well, yeah.
We love hearing from all of you. We love continuing to build this community. So we just want to shout out some of our favorite things every episode. This episode, we're starting with a favorite / not favorite thing. The favorite thing is Lars, who is one of the people who came to Croatia with us, recently turned 36, an excellent age to be, if I might add, for no
reason. Yeah.
For no reason at all. The not favorite news is that she also announced on social media the return of the cancer that she has been fighting, and that we had just celebrated her being 6 months free of in Croatia, which is terrible news. But we wanted to let everybody know because Lars is going to be doing a walk to end cancer and is fundraising for that walk. And if you'd like to donate towards Lars's fundraiser, you could find that at bit.ly/LarsWalk. So that's LARS walk, WALK. So if anyone is interested and wants to chip in on that, that would be great. Either way, we hope that everyone just wishes Lars a happy 36th birthday.
We also want to shout out 2 of our patrons who commented on recent episodes. Bonnie, who said that the Coming Out for Love episode was very fun and has to watch it. We agree. Madison is the shit. And also Jacqueline Rosacino, who posted on our Blue is Warmest Color episode saying, is this really the first time we've ever done a Blue is Warmest Color episode? And that is yes, which is wild. I know.
Yes,
and the
it is,
answer
somehow.
is
Shockingly.
yes. And I think it's because I've been trying to avoid it for this whole time. But here
Correct.
we are.
But here we are. We made it.
If
We
you
finally
want to
made
hear
it.
our thoughts, join our Patreon.
And as always, we want to thank our Lesbian Jesus patrons, Mark Foster,
Lizette Stye,
Adi Benitez,
Fiona W.,
and Sophia Phillips,
and our King Princess patrons, Amy and Ellen,
and Andrea Doucette. Thank you all so much for all of your support, and to all of our patrons. We could not keep making this show without you.
Remember, you can also find us on all the social medias, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok at Lez Hang Out Pod.
You can email us at lezhangoutpod@gmail.com.
Or you can check out our website at lezhangoutpod.com.
Whatever app you use to listen to podcasts, make sure that you subscribe. That way you'll get new episodes as soon as they go up.
We also post videos on our YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe at youtube.com/lezhangoutpod to catch them.
Lez Hang Out is an independently produced show. It's hosted by us. Our audio production is done by Ellie. Our production assistant is Krista Murison, and various social media shenanigans are done by me.
If you want to support the podcast, you can rate and review us on iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcast. We love hearing what you have to say, and it helps new listeners find the show.
If you want to join our Patreon, it is the most direct way to help support us and help us keep making the show, and you get access to all sorts of cool stuff, like our bonus Patreon episodes. You get ad-free episodes of just our regular feed. You get access to our Discord channel. You get to join our watch parties for Les Essentials. All that and more, so much good stuff. You can find it at bit.ly/LesPatreon.
If you want to get some Lez Hang Out merch, you can get that at bit.ly/LesShop. The holidays are coming sooner than you think, so it is time to get something nice for all the gays in your life.
Remember, we also have a queer production company where we make queer podcast musicals with guaranteed happy endings, and you can find us everywhere at $beanprod.
Or at our website, dollarbeanproductions.com.
You can check out all the episodes of our first show, The Flame. They are up on any podcasting app.
And if you want to help support us in making more musicals, you can join our Patreon at bit.ly/dollarbeanpatreon.
If you want to follow us individually, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at LSH Foster.
And you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Ellie Brigida. With that, I'm Ellie.
And I'm Lee. And let's hang out again soon.
Let's hang out.
Hi, I'm Laura Cathcart Robbins, and I am the host and creator of the podcast Only One in the Room. Every week, my co-host Scott Slaughter and I invite you to join us and lose yourself in someone's incredible Only One story. We talk to real people dealing with issues like infertility, the death of a loved one, human trafficking, and women who, fake it. Oh, and we want to be fair, so we talk to celebrities too. Emmy winners like actor John Cryer, supermodels like Amber Valletta, and rock stars like Ryan Dusick. Everyone is invited to share their Only One story with our listeners. With 21 seasons and counting, we guarantee you that Only One in the Room has a story that you'll connect with. This podcast is for anyone who has ever felt alone in a room full of people, which is to say that this podcast is for everyone. Download Only One in the Room on Apple or Spotify today.